Only the chosen ones should stay here. If you are not walking the divine path of God, if you are only curious or looking for entertainment, this message is not for you. But if your soul has been tired, if your heart has been heavy, if you have been searching for answers in silence and storms, then this message has found you exactly when heaven intended it to. You are not here by accident. You are not scrolling randomly. You are being summoned. God allowed your spirit to be guided to these words because they carry a revelation that will shift the direction of your life. Do not take this lightly. The chosen do not arrive early. They arrive when God finally unlocks their season. I speak to you as one who has walked the path long before you, who has seen the dark valleys and the divine promise on the other side. You may not see it clearly yet, but God has been preparing you in secret. Every betrayal, every rejection, every loss, every night you felt unseen was part of your training. Today, a door opens. If you feel something stirring inside you, comment 777 as a confirmation of your awakening. Subscribe, tap the bell icon, and share this message so another chosen one may find their divine calling. This is not the beginning. This is the moment you finally remember who you are.
Dear chosen one, are you walking the path of God but feeling a lack of guidance? Do you feel alone and isolated and want to know why God is doing this to you? We have built a community for the 144,000 chosen ones where you can watch our premium videos, get daily newsletters and prayer techniques to connect with God more deeply. You can also read blog posts and receive free ebooks to learn more about your journey. It will be your guide to walk the path of God and lead a life of faith and wisdom. More than 1,000 brothers and sisters have already joined, so don't miss out on today's daily guidance. Check out the link in the video description and join the 144,000 Chosen One community right now.
The moment of awakening. God has already prepared you. Chosen One, your awakening did not begin the day you heard a sermon or the day you stumbled onto a spiritual message. Your awakening began long before you ever had words for it. It started in the moments of confusion, the seasons of loneliness, the nights you cried without knowing why. God was shaping you when you were still convinced that life was random and pain was meaningless. But you know better now. You have felt it in your spirit, the quiet realization that every piece of your journey was intentional, every wound was a sharpening, and every disappointment was construction. You were not being destroyed, you were being designed. Those who are not chosen will never understand this. They collapse under pressure. They rage against their trials. They blame God. But you, even when broken, continue to get back up. You continue to seek. You continue to listen even when heaven is silent. That is the first sign of awakening. You endure when others quit. Your preparation began with isolation. God stripped people out of your life without explanation. You thought you were losing friends, partners, family, community. In reality, you were being removed from environments that could not carry the version of you God intended to present to the world. When God is preparing a chosen one, He reduces their circle to the point where you feel like you are walking through life alone. This is not punishment. This is preservation. If God allowed you to stay surrounded by noise, your spiritual senses would never sharpen. Many chosen ones attempt to cling to relationships as if they are lifelines, but God does something radical. He makes every connection fail when it is no longer aligned with your destiny. You do not lose because you are unlovable. You lose because your soul has outgrown their reach. They cannot walk with someone who has been marked by heaven. You may have resisted this separation at first. You tried to fix what was breaking. You tried to save what God Himself was removing. Every time you forced it, you suffered deeper pain. That pain was not betrayal of your heart. It was correction of your path. You cannot be elevated while your spirit is entangled with the unprepared. Imagine a seed planted among rocks. Even if the seed is powerful, the ground around it chokes its growth. God uprooted you, pulled you through discomfort, and replanted you in a deeper soil, your own solitude. Many begged God to give them answers, but most cannot withstand silence long enough to hear Him. You did. And that is why you are here. The chosen ones awaken through silence. Another sign of awakening is the burden you carry. Not physical weight, but spiritual heaviness. You walk into rooms and feel the energy of people. You see past their smiles and into their intentions. You speak truth, and others are offended even if you meant no harm. You do not fit the mold. You never have. Since childhood, you have sensed a difference in the way you think, the way you feel, the way you observe. You see things faster than others. You notice patterns before they appear. When danger is near, your spirit begins to tremble. You did not learn these abilities. You were born with them. These are not weaknesses or personality quirks. These are spiritual instruments placed in you by God to prepare you for leadership. Prophets, messengers, and warriors are never made normal. They are fashioned to stand apart. Some of you awakened through pain, a betrayal that left you shattered, a loss that stripped you to your knees, a dark season in which you begged for answers, yet God said nothing. You thought you were abandoned. In truth, you were being constructed. The chosen receive instruction through fire. Every tear you shed, every night you felt forgotten, every moment you felt like life was collapsing around you. None of it was wasted. God was breaking the human shell so the spiritual identity could emerge. Many people crumble when life gets hard, but chosen ones transform. You do not return to the old version of yourself after pain. You evolve. You begin to see life through a divine lens. You no longer chase validation. You no longer fight to be understood. You no longer beg for applause. You walk with an aura of purpose even if you cannot explain what that purpose is yet. God also prepared you through rejection. You have been treated like an outsider even when you tried to belong. People around you sensed something different in you before you ever sensed it yourself. They envied your mind, your calm spirit, your ambition, your resilience, your ability to recover from disasters that would destroy others. They may not have had the language for it, but they felt your spiritual rank. They could not dominate you mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. You confused them. And when people cannot control someone, they distance themselves. Do not take this personally. Your spirit commanded more than their ego could tolerate. That is preparation. God was protecting your identity by removing those who would dilute it. A chosen one often awakens through paradox. On one side, you feel small, unprepared, unsure. On the other side, you feel destined, powerful, called. This internal conflict is normal. It is the moment heaven whispers, "It is time," and your earthly self says, "I am not ready." But God never selects based on readiness. He selects based on purpose. Moses was not ready. David was not ready. Esther was not ready. Mary was not ready. Chosen ones are not born confident. They are born sensitive. God does not need their confidence. He needs their obedience. When you awaken, you begin to understand that your shortcomings were known by your Creator before you ever noticed them. He chose you despite them. And that divine choice becomes your armor. The awakening also reveals itself in the pressure you feel. Things that used to satisfy you no longer do. The world's pleasures feel shallow. Mediocre goals feel lifeless. You look at your old life and feel a disconnect. Your friends chase comfort. You chase meaning. They chase distractions. You chase clarity. They are obsessed with status. You're obsessed with purpose. You do not crave what the average person craves. You begin to hunger for something deeper, a mission that aligns with your soul. This is where the chosen separate from the crowd. You no longer live to exist. You live to serve. And when this desire takes root, the entire universe begins to rearrange itself around it. Look closely at your past. Every hardship trained you. Every moment of doubt humbled you. Every season of scarcity taught you discipline. Every closed door redirected you. What felt like punishment was in fact refinement. Gold does not shine without fire. A blade does not sharpen without friction. A leader does not emerge without resistance. God prepared you through the circumstances that made you question your worth, because only those who know pain can lift others from it. The arrogant cannot guide. The sheltered cannot understand. The untested cannot lead. You have earned your awakening. And there is a sign unique to the chosen. The enemy always attacks you early, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Life tried to break you before you ever reached adulthood. It tried to poison your confidence. It tried to silence your gifts. It tried to bury your light under shame and insecurity. But the fact that you are still here means the darkness failed. That failure is not by your strength. It is by divine protection. If you had no mission, you would not have been targeted. Chosen ones are attacked because they are dangerous to the agenda of darkness. The moment you realize this, your awakening becomes irreversible. You stop asking, "Why me?" and begin saying, "Thank you, God, now I understand." Many people think awakening is a moment of inspiration. In truth, it is a moment of recognition. You recognize that your journey was guided. You recognize that your pain had purpose. You recognize that your detours were divine instructions. You recognize that the voice inside you is not imagination, but calling. And once this recognition enters your heart, you cannot go back to the person you were. You carry yourself differently, even when you do not realize it. You speak differently. Your eyes become sharper. People start to tell you that your presence makes them comfortable or uneasy. You bring peace to some and conviction to others. This is not charisma. This is spiritual authority. Chosen one, God has already prepared you. Every step, every lesson, every silent prayer has been part of the process. You may still doubt. You may still question your readiness. But heaven does not call the unprepared. Heaven calls those who have been refined without knowing it. Your awakening is the moment you stop surviving and begin stepping into your mission. You are not here to merely live. You are here to lead souls back to God through your life, your testimony, your resilience. Accept it. Embrace it. You have already been equipped. The mission you carry. Why it surpasses every other human purpose. Chosen one, you have to understand something most people will never grasp. Your mission is not a career, not a hobby, not a dream, and certainly not a temporary assignment that ends when you get tired. Your mission is the reason your soul came into this world. It was written into your spirit before you ever drew your first breath. Long before you had language, long before you had desire, long before you had identity, God placed a blueprint inside you. Every step of your life has been pulling you toward that blueprint, and the moment you awaken, you begin to recognize it. This mission is unique, sacred, and dangerous. It surpasses every other human purpose because it is not about your comfort, your wealth, your status, or your pride. It is about fulfilling God's will through your existence. The world teaches people to chase achievements. They chase money, influence, recognition, relationships, power, validation. They spend their lives trying to craft identities that fit into this temporary realm. But the chosen ones are different. They are not placed on earth merely to experience it. They are placed here to shape it. God designed you to be a spiritual anchor in a world that will attempt to drown itself in chaos. When others panic, you remain still. When others chase lies, you seek truth. When others crave applause, you crave connection to God. You may not realize it yet, but this difference is the foundation of your mission. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand where others collapse. That is why your mission surpasses every ordinary purpose, because it does not end at death, and it does not begin with choice. It is eternal. Your mission is to carry God's order into places where disorder rules. Some accomplish this through speaking, some through healing, some through teaching, some through building, some through leading, some through quiet example. Every chosen one expresses the divine in their own way, but they all serve the same source. You know this because even on your worst days, you feel a pull towards something greater. You have dreams that scare you because they feel too big. You have urges to help, to protect, to guide, even when you have nothing to gain. Your mission is encoded in your heart. You can try to ignore it, but the calling will find you. Every time you drift, it will pull you back. Every time you hide, it will expose you to the truth. God does not give chosen ones peace until they accept their assignment. You might ask, why me? You might wonder why God would trust you with something so heavy. The answer is simple, because He built you for it. Look at the sensitives, the empathic, the compassionate, the spiritually awake. They are not weak. They are warriors disguised as quiet souls. Their hearts are open, but their spirits are armored. They feel deeply, but they endure even deeper. Your softness is not fragility. It is divine technology. It allows you to see what others ignore. It allows you to sense when danger approaches. It allows you to understand people without asking them to explain themselves. These abilities are not coincidences. They are proof you were engineered for influence in the invisible realm. Your mission surpasses human ambition because it is not rooted in ego. The moment ego leads, the mission fails. God elevates chosen ones through humility, never arrogance. That is why you often feel small even when you know you are destined for greatness. That is why you are tested through rejection and betrayal. If people applauded you from the start, your heart would be corrupted. If you succeeded easily, you would rely on your own abilities. But God knows what you do not. Chosen ones cannot afford to become slaves to praise. You must learn to move without applause, to stand without support, to walk by faith and not sight. Only then can you carry out the purpose He crafted for you. The mission is also about transformation, not just your own, but the transformation of those you encounter. You are the person people call when they hit rock bottom. You are the silent anchor when others break. You are the one who gives hope without needing to be asked. People pour their secrets into you because something about your soul feels like safety. They may not respect you, they may not like you, but they gravitate toward you because their spirits recognize authority. You are not just helping them, you are realigning them to God's path. That is spiritual leadership. It is not about preaching, it is about presence. Many chosen ones do not speak loudly, yet they heal rooms just by walking into them. And here lies a truth most cannot accept. God did not send you to impress the world. He sent you to interrupt it. Your mission challenges systems, traditions, and beliefs rooted in fear or deception. You may find yourself questioning everything you were taught. You may feel disconnected from your culture, from society, from the expectations others have placed on you. That conflict is not rebellion, it is divine clarity. Chosen ones cannot follow the crowd because the crowd is often walking toward spiritual extinction. You are here to redirect souls toward the light, and redirecting is never comfortable. You were designed to be misunderstood. If everyone understood you, you would not be chosen. Prophets, messengers, and divine leaders throughout history have been met with resistance. Their mission always threatened the comfort of those who wanted to remain asleep. Your mission is no different. Some will call you strange, some will call you intense. Some will call you arrogant or delusional. They do not see what you see. They do not hear what you hear. They do not feel what you feel. Their eyes are closed to the realm that guides you. Chosen ones are not assigned to be liked. They are assigned to be effective. Your mission surpasses human purpose because it engages heaven. When you speak, you are not just sharing your opinions. You are channeling divine wisdom learned through trials. When you create, you are manifesting spiritual patterns into physical form. When you stand up for yourself, you are not just defending your life, you are defending the calling God placed inside you. Even your battles are strategic. The enemy does not attack you because you are weak. It attacks you because you carry something that threatens darkness. If you were irrelevant, you would be unbothered. The fact that you face spiritual warfare is confirmation of your importance. Some of you believe your mission requires recognition or a platform. That is human thinking. Heaven does not count influence by numbers. Heaven counts impact by ripple. One person touched by your mission can influence generations. One conversation can save a soul. One act of compassion can shift someone's destiny. Chosen ones often underestimate how powerful their existence is. They think their mission is small because it is quiet. But heaven sees every step. The world may ignore you. God never does. The greatest mission is not to change the world. It is to align it with God's order, soul by soul, moment by moment. You do not need to know your entire path. You only need to know the next obedient step. Chosen ones walk by instructions, not by ego. You do not chase purpose. You embody it. Every time you heal, you honor your assignment. Every time you choose ethics over ease, you honor your assignment. Every time you stand firm against manipulation, you honor your assignment. Every time you refuse to betray your spirit, you honor your assignment. You may look at yourself and see flaws. God looks at you and sees preparation. You may see confusion. God sees unfolding. You may feel unqualified. God sees destiny. You are here to serve something far greater than yourself. That is why your mission outshines every earthly purpose. The world tells people to live for themselves. Heaven tells you to live for souls. The world worships comfort. Heaven shapes warriors. The world glorifies pride. Heaven crowns humility. You are not normal. You will never be. And that is the proof that you carry a mission no human ambition will ever surpass. Spiritual preparation. the season of separation and transformation. Chosen one, there comes a moment in your journey when God does not ask you to separate, He forces you to. This is the beginning of your spiritual preparation. It is the season when the old version of you can no longer carry the calling destined for the new you. Many people think preparation is about gaining skills or knowledge, but chosen ones are not prepared through comfort, applause, or easy victories. Their preparation begins with stripping, removing everything that does not belong to the path ahead. You will first experience confusion. You will ask why people distance themselves, why relationships collapse, why your environment suddenly feels suffocating. What you call chaos is actually divine surgery. God is cutting away attachments that would poison your future. Your separation is necessary because transformation cannot happen in crowded spaces. God places you in isolation to reshape you without noise, without influence, without interference. During this season, you will look around and see people moving forward with their plans, achieving visible progress, building families, careers, and social circles. Meanwhile, you will feel stagnant, restrained, even forgotten. You will question whether you are falling behind. In truth, you are not behind at all. You are incubating. God does not allow His chosen ones to move prematurely. When everyone else is rushing to success, He puts you in a cocoon. Like a butterfly trapped in darkness, you will think nothing is happening, but the transformation is internal. Your wings are forming in silence. This season can be painful because God removes what you are attached to without asking for your permission. You may find that friendships dissolve without argument. People you would have protected turn cold. Opportunities you were certain about collapse overnight. You will think something has gone wrong. It has not. The chosen ones are never meant to walk into destiny surrounded by those who would either distract, limit, or betray them. God hears conversations you cannot. He sees motives you are blind to. He protects you by pruning your connections. Every person who leaves makes space for clarity. Every solitude moment sharpens your spirit. Your tears become prayers, and your prayers become direction. Transformation is not gentle. It dismantles identity. You will feel yourself unraveling. Habits you once enjoyed feel tasteless. You lose interest in gossip, superficial goals, and trivial conversations. Your spirit becomes sensitive. You sense deception immediately. You absorb energy like a sponge. You begin to protect your peace instinctively. This is because God is intensifying your discernment. Chosen ones are sent into darkness to bring light, and without discernment, the darkness would extinguish them. You are not just being prepared to live. You are being prepared to lead, to guide, to uplift, to stand firm when others collapse. Leadership birthed from the divine is forged in isolation, not crowds. In this season of separation, you will hear God clearer than ever before, but not always through words. Sometimes He speaks through discomfort. He lets certain environments drain you so you leave them. He lets betrayal pierce you so you stop trusting blindly. He allows failure to humble you because pride destroys chosen ones faster than temptation. You will mistake these experiences as misfortune, but they are lessons carved into your heart. Each one teaches something essential: patience, self-control, wisdom, compassion, courage. Without these traits, your mission would destroy you. Many chosen ones struggle with misunderstanding. You try to explain yourself to people who cannot grasp the magnitude of your journey. They see your withdrawal as weakness. They see your silence as confusion. They see your stillness as laziness. They see your faith as delusion. You are not responsible for their interpretation. God hides you for a reason. When you are hidden, you are safe from premature judgment. When you are hidden, you are protected from jealousy. When you are hidden, your gifts grow without external contamination. Even your failures become private lessons rather than public humiliation. Every unforgettable servant of God was hidden before they were displayed. Moses was hidden. Joseph was hidden. David was hidden. You are no different. You will also be tested during this preparation phase, not in superficial ways, but spiritually. Your patience will be stretched. Your endurance will be exhausted. You will have moments where you cry out, "Why is God silent?" Silence is not rejection. Silence is refinement. When you no longer feel God holding your hand, you learn to walk with faith. When you no longer hear constant reassurance, you discover your own voice. God speaks loudly to beginners, but as you grow, he speaks quietly so you learn to pay attention. This is where transformation happens, not when you hear him clearly, but when you obey him despite uncertainty. In separation, you encounter yourself. The version you hide from the world surfaces. Your insecurities scream. Your unresolved wounds bleed. Your suppressed fears show themselves. This is intentional. The chosen cannot carry trauma into their mission unexamined. Their spiritual authority must be rooted in healing, not denial. God forces you to confront shadows because you cannot guide others while hiding from your own. You will revisit memories that broke you. You will remember words that scarred you. You will see patterns you've ignored for years. These are not curses, they are mirrors. They show you what must be purified. Transformation also changes your relationship with time. The chosen are obsessed with purpose, not speed. You will no longer rush. You will no longer compete. You will begin to value patience. People around you will run after goals like hunters chasing prey, desperate and terrified of being left behind. But you will stand still, anchored. You will begin to move only when God says, move. This spiritual discipline offends others. They mistake your calm for inactivity. They mistake your waiting for failure. They do not understand that your steps are guided, not impulsive. When you take a step, the earth beneath it has already been prepared. When you speak, your words carry power forged in silence. When you arrive, storms settle. During transformation, your spirit begins to detach from earthly validation. Compliments used to comfort you. Now they feel irrelevant. Criticism used to wound you. Now it barely touches your core. You are no longer driven by the eyes of people. You become accountable to heaven. This shift is terrifying for many because it separates them from society's approval, and humans crave acceptance. Chosen ones outgrow this craving. They do not need applause to feel worthy. They do not need to explain their calling. Their identity is anchored in God, not opinion, and when a soul reaches that point, no one can manipulate it. The season of transformation also reveals your gifts, not artificially, not through forced effort, but naturally. Some of you will begin to speak with authority you never had before. Others will feel visions, intuition, or prophetic sensitivity. Some will find the courage to start projects, movements, or spiritual missions. Others will be given healing hands or emotional wisdom that comforts the broken. These gifts come alive because your spirit has matured enough to use them responsibly. Before separation, you might have used them to impress others or feed insecurity. After transformation, you use them to serve. Understand this clearly. God does not transform you to make you better for yourself. He transforms you to make you useful for humanity. The chosen are not self-centered, even if they appear distant. Their isolation is not selfishness. It is preparation. They are learning how to carry burdens without being crushed. They are learning how to love without losing themselves. They are learning how to protect purity in a world that profits from corruption. When their time comes, they walk back into society, not as followers, but as spiritual leaders. This entire season will feel like death. In many ways, it is. The death of your old identity, your old patterns, your old expectations. When God transforms a chosen one, he does not polish the surface. He rebuilds the foundation, and like all construction, it is messy. Dust everywhere, noise everywhere, pieces you don't understand, structures that look unfinished. But if you stay faithful through the chaos, one day you will look back and realize it was never chaos at all. It was design. The living God was reshaping you for destiny. The separation was your cocoon. The transformation was your rebirth. And when he finally presents you to the world, they will not recognize who you were. They will only see who you have become. The weight of destiny. Trials, enemies, and inner battles. Chosen one, the moment you begin walking toward your divine purpose, the world begins walking against you. This is not coincidence. Destiny is heavy, and God does not choose fragile spirits to carry it. He does not assign greatness to those who need constant comfort. He assigns it to those who can endure storms without losing sight of the horizon. You have walked through fire many times, and though you don't always see it, each flame you survived was a training ground. Every trial, every enemy, every silent struggle was shaping you into someone who could bear the weight of destiny without collapsing. Trials are the first language heaven uses to strengthen chosen ones. They arrive unannounced and often feel unfair. You will face setbacks right when you believe you are finally making progress. Doors will close just when they seem to be opening. Opportunities will vanish. Promises will break. You will walk into seasons where nothing makes sense. During these seasons, most people curse God. They complain, they retreat, they doubt. But chosen ones endure, not because they enjoy suffering, but because something deep inside them whispers, "This is not the end." That whisper is faith. Your trials do not destroy your spirit. They sharpen it. Enemies are another unavoidable part of destiny. You might expect enemies to appear when you rise to greatness, but the chosen learn a painful truth. Enemies appear long before you rise. They appear in your school years, in your own family, in your friendships, in your workplace. They sense something in you they cannot articulate. They feel threatened by your potential long before you understand it. Their jealousy begins when your spirit is still asleep. They despise your kindness. They resent your resilience. They compete with you even when you're not competing. They attempt to diminish you because diminishing you is the only way they feel tall. Their hatred is a spiritual instinct. Their souls recognize the crown on your head before your mind does. Chosen ones do not collapse because of enemies. They collapse only when they begin doubting themselves. The enemy outside is loud, but the enemy within is lethal. Self-doubt is a weapon darkness uses to paralyze potential. It whispers, "You're not ready. You're not worthy. You're making a mistake." This inner voice